6 panels of stained glass that experts say might weigh more than 100 pounds each.
And ever since the piece has been put up, the city's been getting a ton of phone calls. Now, the dry cleaners here tell me that literally 30% of their clothes have been here longer than 3 months, meaning 30% of their money is literally hung up in unclaimed clothes. At the gym is just about a block away from some luxury condos that are already built. So if you want to see what development could look like, all you got to do is cross the street. Now, the mayor's office says buildings like this would generate a lot of much needed revenue for the city.
So taking a closer look at the blocks, they're lightweight, squishy, but at the same time strong enough to support the weight of a slightly out of shape reporter.
I'm here in La Jolla. I'm actually at where a storm drain is meeting the ocean. And as you can tell, this water anything but clear. Let's say this pineapple is a house you're trying to buy, but you can't afford the entire amount up front. So that's where lending companies come in, and they offer you a bunch of different ways to buy this pineapple. They've got FHA loans, for example, where you only have to put down a few pennies on the dollar just to buy the house. Then they've got private loans, think bank loans, where you have to put 10 to 20% down.
Means lots and lots of last-minute gifts.
Okay, so the U.S. Postal Service expecting about 800 million pieces of mail to come through doors like this throughout the nation. Oh, but did you know many of the locker room scenes were shot right here in Mission Beach? Snigdha Nandipati has learned 70,000 of those words, much of it with the help of these flashcards. But here's the thing, over the past year, they've compiled 30,000 of these guys. Now, to prevent the fuel rods from getting so hot, the plant usually pumps in water to help cool them down. Okay, so now this blue PVC pipe you see in front of you is 12 inches in diameter, and it's going to be replacing the 8-inch cast iron water mains that are found throughout the Pacific Beach region. And 8 miles of this stuff is going to be installed over the next 3 years. So there are currently 4 ambulances that serve the residents of Vista, and this one behind me is going to be the one that goes offline. But these aren't just your normal run-of-the-mill ambulances. But if that can in front of you represented all the food in this room, the Salvation Army here would need 5 times that amount to meet their demand.
James Koh, Fox 5 News.
So how does a cloud work? Well, instead of downloading the music to your computer, you actually download the music to a central server or a cloud, and you can access that cloud using things like your iPhone or your iPod to listen to that music. So while Mr. Extreme says he doesn't have any superpowers like being able to multiply or teleport, he does have one superpower that a lot of us don't have. And the concept behind the app is actually pretty neat. Let's say you come up on a nasty little bugger like this, a pothole. All you gotta do is break out your smartphone, snap a couple photos, and send it to the city. Wessel says this little gate has done anything but keep out unwanted visitors. As a matter of fact, he said the home has been broken into at least 4 times. Many filling up their shopping carts with items such as laptops. But if you missed the bargains on Friday, hey, no big deal. Cyber Monday is a growing phenomenon. Said they saw what appeared to be construction crews working on this train underpass over the weekend. And seemingly overnight, this mosaic popped up. But starting in September of 2012, all tobacco companies will be required to use one of 9 anti-smoking ads on the top half of their entire cigarette box. Now, as you can tell, I've set up my mobile office here literally on a street corner here in Ocean Beach. But the city's tired of seeing people using these open outlets to power everything from personal computers to their cell phones. Let me show you how this desk set works. Now, these come off, and this is where you put your ink inside these wells. And this little inset bar here is where you put your various pens so they don't roll off of your desk.
Piece by piece by piece.
But unlike my friend here, the fossilized remains won't be immediately available to the public. So a big part of the lawsuit centers around these tickets and how they can be traded in for random trinkets, stuff like spinning tops, plastic rings, and even plastic spiders. But it's the value of these trinkets that Bennick says opens up Chuck E. Cheese to a lawsuit. These really neat cars like this Gullwing Mercedes. And the crazy thing is, this is not even the beginning of his collection. Okay, as you can see, I got my handy dandy tape measure here, and this counter is exactly 36 inches tall. It's ADA compliant, and as you can see, even when sitting down, I can see my food being prepared. Okay, now this box is exactly 10 inches in height, and as you can tell, if the counter were 10 inches taller, all the food preparation would be obstructed from view. But what good is having a nifty laptop if you don't use it properly? Showing that the new tools aren't just for show. innovative middle school has adapted their curriculum. So with Facebook launching email, is traditional email as obsolete as VHS? What are you doing right now?
Shoulders width apart like that, and then you take your routine, and then you shoot.
Overlooking the plaza that's named after him was this guy, Alonzo Horton, a famous 19th century San Diego developer. If the reactors were shut down after the earthquake, why are the fuel rods burning so hot? Well, think of a pan on a stove. Even after you turn off the heat, the pan is still hot.